Greetings and welcome to Pokemon Aftermath, where we will explore the aftermath of the cataclysmic event that wiped out most of the regions of the world 50 years ago when the ultimate weapon of Kalos was unleashed. Only Sinnoh was spared, thanks to a mysterious force that protected it from the blast. Today, we follow the Pokemon Ranger Amelia from the Kanto region as she arrives in Eterna City and embarks on a quest for a rumored mystical power into Eterna Forest. Are you ready to join in this epic adventure? Then tune in to Pokemon Aftermath, where the stakes are high and the challenges are endless.
Alright, so we are going to start off. Go ahead and introduce kind of your character, what they look like, and a little bit about them.
Okay, let's see if I can remember this backstory. So my character Amelia, she's usually a really quiet person. She likes to go on adventures. Usually she would just go out, hang out in the wilderness and wildlife of Pokemon, watching, feeding them snacks and stuff like that, Don't feed wildlife, that was her thing. She has long red curly hair, very bright green eyes. She just liked getting away from the cities that she was so used to and just finding the quiet places.
Okay, nice. So we start off with Amelia just having gotten her very first ranger mission. And we're starting off in the Kanto region, and she has been tasked with going to the Johto region to investigate a matter of wild Pokemon in the forest there. And she is at the dock of the SS and her brother comes and decides to join her on her journey over there. And you board the SS and about maybe a day or so into your voyage, you are laying in bed asleep and you hear just this loud boom, almost like a bomb went off. And you get up, it's the middle of the night, and you see this bright flash of light, and the whole ship just kind of jerks over and you're thrown up against the wall of the hull of the ship and you black out. And the next thing you know, you are awake in your bed again. And as you look around the boat, you notice that there's no one else on board but yourself. You're looking around and you just kind of feel, oh, I must have slept in and missed my stop. Everyone must have gotten off and forgot that I was here, So you go and you get off, and as you disembark the boat, you realize the area that you're in is very rocky. You're like in the bottom of a valley almost that has a river running through it. And you disembark and you kind of get up to the top of the valley and you look back and the SSN is gone without a trace. As you continue on looking for settlement, you find Eterna City in the Sinnoh region, which you do know is in the Sinnoh region, and that is where we're going to start off. So, what would Amelia like to do?
Would I have Duper at this point?
You would, yes. Duper
Okay,
is by your side.
Okay, yeah, I would definitely give Duper some looks of WTF, yo.
He just like, yeah, and just kind of shrugs.
I'd be like, pretty much just looking around, so I can recognize the city. How different does it look from what I remember?
Well, you've never quite been in Eterna City, but last you remember, it wasn't this crowded. Like, it is very, very crowded, almost to the point where it looks like it's overpopulated. So it looks like there is a lot of people living on the streets, but there are also a lot of vendors and a lot of bustling community, almost like there's a festival kind of going on at the moment.
Okay. Now you said I was going on my first ranger mission.
Right.
Does that mean I have some sorts of identification already?
You do, yes. You already have your Ranger's license.
Okay. So I will pretty much look at Ditto, point towards the city, and be like, "You want to go check it out?"
Yeah. And he just kind of jumps onto your shoulders and is like ready to go.
I'll kind of give him a scratch or a poke. I don't know Ditto's blog, and tell him to kind of transform into an object of sorts.
Okay. He kind of transforms into like a straw hat.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's what he would like to do to me.
Roll a d20.
All right. Oh, 15.
Oh, 15. Okay. Yeah, so it's just a straw hat.
Fantastic. That little bugger would do that to me in my backstory. Go to reach for a straw hat. Shit. Alright. So, I put on the little straw hat and I go into the city. Or walk towards it. Very slowly and awkwardly.
So you walk into the city and there are people everywhere. You see people down alleys, you see people in cafes. There are just kind of people walking around everywhere, almost like I like to think of it like, have you seen in the movies, there's like these African markets that are just full
like
of
the
people?
Asian, Indian.
Yeah, like that amount of people. Like there's a lot of people in this city right now.
I would definitely be looking around, be somewhat confused and just in awe of the amount of people. Are there any Pokemon as well, or just people?
Oh, there's Pokemon. I mean, you see some Pidgey flying around. You see Starly. You see like a couple of Rattata just kind of scurrying about. Like your general city Pokemon, you see kind of going or like scurrying around.
How do those Rattata look? How are they look?
They look like normal Rattata.
Okay. How about those Pidgeys?
Pidgeys also look like normal Pidgeys. They all look like kind of normal Pokemon to you, but you do see you see some like fletchlings, which normally you'd find in the Kalos region. That's like, why are there fletchling here? Like,
okay, so starting to notice some Pokemon outside their natural zones.
Right.
I would kind of wonder if those actually belong to someone. They just let them loose to spread their wings, or they're actually wild. Wait, what the hell is going on? What is this? Poke my head a little, be like, Ditto, Duper, what is this? I don't remember reading about this or hearing about a city being like this.
Ditto?
Right? This is weird. Parents would always go on about this city. This is not what I was expecting. Kinda sucks, dude. Not a place to go on vacation. Remember that.
So what does Amelia want to do?
Well, as of right now, I'm still kind of looking around. Are there like little shops? You said I was walking by some shops, some people just sitting around. What am I seeing shop-wise, vendor-wise, whatnot?
So you see shops that are they're selling like berry juices, and there's a stall for TMs, and there's stalls for pretty much anything you can think of. Of course, there's the generic Pokemart and the Pokemon Center, but you see pretty much stalls for anything. There's berry stalls that just have vast array of different kinds of berries.
Interesting. How worn down does this city look?
It looks pretty worn down. Like there's a lot of people here. You see you peek down the alleyways and you see tents where it looks like people are sleeping in tents. Go ahead and roll an intuition check for me.
Ooh, thank you, 4. That'd be a 6. I rolled a 2.
So you can guess that they're just kind of people who are staying out, like they don't have a home to go to, so they're staying in tents in the alleyways, but you can't quite determine what has put them there in the first place.
Gotcha. Still, that's very weird.
You do see flyers not like flyers, but I guess like banners everywhere that are advertising the 50th annual Pokemon Exploration Society induction tournament that is taking place in 6 days from now.
That I will definitely stop at and stare and be like, 50th? What? Poke my hat. What?
So, I'm going to keep that intuition roll that you had earlier. You just kind of figure that this is something that the Sinnoh region just kind of does. You're not super familiar with the Sinnoh region, so you're just kind of like, I guess this must be something that's been going on in the Sinnoh region for a while.
Okay. Be like, 50th? Why have we not heard of this back home? This is interesting. This would have been up our alley. 50th? Duper! Do you ever hear parents talk about this?
Don't.
Shoot. This would have been interesting.
Kind of rustles side to side on your head.
My hat's just doing weird things.
Yeah, your head's just kind of spinning.
Well, this is... Never heard of this. Huh. 50. Interesting. And it takes place in, what, 6 days?
6 days, yep.
I will continue to look around.
Okay, so you look around a bit more and you do see some like permanent fixture shops. You see like a berry and florist kind of shop, and you see a sign that says Pokemon Underground Society. It's kind of like a little makeshift sign that's kind of just on the outside of the house. And as you go around, you do see this big statue, and you can't quite determine what it is, but you do know that it is a Pokemon, but you're not quite sure exactly what it is. You do have a Pokedex on you, so you could scan it if you wanted to.
Okay. Yes. Is this a good old-fashioned red and blue Pokédex, or is this that Pokemon Pokédex?
It is a good old-fashioned red and blue Pokedex.
Thank you. They started making that Pokédex a living thing. It's like, no. No. I don't want a face staring at me.
That's very fair. So you scan the statue?
Yes.
Alrighty, so it's scanning. It says 2 possible Pokemon identified. First Pokemon, Dialga, the time Pokemon, a legendary Pokemon of Sinnoh. It is said that time flows when Dialga's heart beats. And then it's scanning. Second Pokemon, Palkia, the space Pokemon, a legendary Pokemon of Sinnoh. It is said that space becomes more stable with Palkia's every breath.
Huh. Well then. They get time and space, and we get birds. I like destroying it.
But then you see the gym, which has all sorts of banners saying about this induction tournament going on kind of all around the gym. And kind of north of the city, you see a old radio tower that doesn't look like there's a whole lot going in it right now.
That's really interesting to see a radio tower just so run down. That's... I know we can fly with our Pokemon, but still, we would always keep our radio tower pristine. Why is that one so down? Poke my hat a few times. What do you think, Duper?
Yeah.
It's weird. Looks haunted. Let's not. I really don't want to run into that little gas ball.
You say that as Ditto kind of comes off your head and then transforms into a Ghastly with the little Ditto face.
I grab those cheeks and I start pulling and be like, you little... Blah.
Yeah.
You're like, no! Start kind of doing like the putty thing, going back and forth. Be like, no! No! You know what it's like getting licked by one of these things. Why?
And then he licks you.
Ugh.
And then he transforms back into a hat and goes back on your head.
I'm just standing there like, Duper. You know what? Next time we come across one of them, you can handle it.
Ditto.
Yeah, okay. Keep it up. Keep it up, Duper. See if I find some berries for you. Please don't steal. I'm sorry, Duper. I will find you berries.
So, what is Amelia doing?
Do these banners say where this Exploration Society tournament is at?
It does say, you do see a couple that say registration at the Eterna City gym.
Okay, so it would be at the gym. I will go into the gym.
Okay. So you kind of go, it's not in the gym, it's like right outside. So
Okay.
you go and you see this line of people that are kind of out to a table, and are you going to stand in line and wait, or are you just kind of be like, oh, that's a lot of people, we're going to move on?
I'm just gonna kind of watch and look to see if there's other booths or anything else, or if it's just that one.
There is just that one booth that's it's going pretty fast. It's not going super, super slow, but there's just that one.
Is there any personnel or anyone standing around giving out information or anything like that?
There will be, like, the person at the booth will give you all your information. There's really just a lot of posters and stuff.
What do you think, Ditto? You want to stand in line, or you want to go look around some more? I'll kind of leave my finger so he can grab it and either point towards or point away.
You see this little purple appendage come out of your hat and take your finger and point towards the booth.
The table. All right. Let's go get in line to do her.
So you get in line and you wait probably just only about 5 minutes or so. And you get up there and there's a gentleman sitting at the table. He looks kind of tired, like he's been talking to a lot of people recently. But he's like, oh, howdy, are you looking to enroll in the Pokemon induction tournament?
What is that?
The Pokemon Exploration Society. They kind of go out to the other regions and help people in Pokemon adapt to the new environments and kind of try to bring them back to a livable condition.
A livable condition?
Yeah, because the whole thing that happened a while ago that kind of destroyed all the other regions except for Sinnoh. Thank Arceus.
My face is literally looking at him like, what? Completely lost, confused, just like...
You're not from around here, are you?
No.
How old are you again?
18.
I guess no one really told you about this then growing up, did they? Well, the Pokemon Exploration Society kind of goes out to other regions and helps, people in Pokemon be able to learn to live in their new environments, or they might take refugees over here to the Sinnoh region, or they might even just kind of explore and find ways to bring the regions back up to their livable statuses. But the weapon fired in a Callus a little bit ago kind of ruined these regions. For some reason it passed over the Sinnoh region, but that was a big thing.
Weapon? What weapon?
Yeah, from what I know, I mean, this was a while ago. It was, a war between Team Plasma and Team Flare of different regions, and Team Flare decided they wanted to fire off this big weapon, and it kind of misfired and destroyed everything.
Wow, and people give Team Rocket bullshit. Just be like, oh, wow, okay. Oh, Team Rocket doesn't seem so bad. What?
Listen, I can't be giving you all this information all day. You see that line behind you? Are you gonna sign up for this thing or not?
I kind of do this. I put my hands, you know how whenever you get tired, you kind of just like rub your right under your eyes, kind of up and down a little.
Yeah.
I kind of do that, and I'd be like, wait, what kind of exams are these?
Well, the tournament is a 3-part tournament. Usually it consists of a couple of trials, one of which being usually a battle-style tournament bracket like you would normally expect, and 2 other trials determined by the Exploration Society that kind of gauge your abilities on whether or not you're able to actively become a member or not.
I just have this blank stare on my face of not, kind of like that face of not this again. Not this again. Shoot. I then poke my hat, be like, Dapper, what do you think?
And he kind of pushes your heads a little towards the guy.
You're like, alright, fine, I guess I'll do this all over again. I guess maybe cities have different requirements. Ugh. already have a license, but I guess I'll do it for this city.
All right, are you joining the?
Sure, I guess.
Alrighty. Well, first things first, I need to see your trainer's license.
Okay, I do hand him my ranger's license.
He takes it and he goes, "Oh, a ranger. Okay, so this will be right up your alley." He rolled a pretty low perception about like looking at what the date was. And he just kind of like, "Yep, that's you." He's very tired, and he gives it back to you. He's like, "Alrighty, that's gonna be a 300 poke entrance fee."
300. Good grief! You know how many Pokeballs and potions I could have bought with this? Jeez.
He goes, "Yeah, that's like a pokeball and a half."
Stop and look at me like, inflation? Really? Wow. No wonder we never came to this city. Alright, so I will hand him
Okay.
3. Okay, you got him, yeah.
Alrighty,
Yep.
and any other Pokemon you want to register other than the Pokemon that will be rented out to you for the duration of the tournament?
Rented out? What?
Yeah, so you'll be given a more powerful Pokemon, assuming you don't have any crazy strong Pokemon yourself. You'll be rented out another trainer's Pokemon in order to take part in the tournament to see how well you can use a different Pokemon styles.
I kind of just look at him and I just hold out my hands. Duper.
And he kind of transforms from the straw hat and onto your hand. He goes, "Oh, okay. So I'm guessing you're registering that Ditto there. The what'd you say his name was? Duper."
Yep.
Alrighty, he writes that down. And then he kind of shuffles around underneath the desk and he hands you a Pokeball with a purple top on it. He goes, "Alright, this is your rented out Pokemon for the tournament. It is to be used in tournament battles only." There is a sheet of paper inside of the Pokeball that tells you what the Pokemon is and all of its moves and abilities.
So you stuffed it inside with the Pokemon.
Right. I mean, the Pokemon is kind of, not disintegrated, but, dematerialized into electrical energy when it's inside the Pokeball. So it's not actually very cramped. I mean,
I squint at him and be like, let's see you dematerialize with a piece of paper poking your energy body. See how you like it.
whoa, okay then, just trying to explain. It doesn't really seem like you know what's going on here, so I figured I might need to explain something to you.
What a ball is. Goodness.
And he's just like, "Alrighty, just be back here in 6 days and you'll be all set to start."
Mm-hmm. Alright. Thank you.
No problem.
I look at the Pokeball and be like, alright, let's hand it to Duper. Hold on to that.
And he just kind of takes it and kind of like any other amoeba just kind of engulfs it and it's now inside of him.
Alright. Let's battles only. Poor thing. Let's go. Bullshit. Let's go, Duper. Finding some food.
So you kind of walk around and you do see a cafe that you can go to. It's called it's just called the Poke Cafe. And you kind of go in and order some food. And this lady comes up to you, and on her name tag it says Lila. She goes, "Oh, hello. How may I help you today?"
Yeah, I'm just looking for something small for me and 2 meals for Pokemon.
Alrighty. So we have 2 Poke meals and just like a sandwich or something for you.
Yeah, sandwich and water, that's fine.
Alrighty, sounds good. Let's see, that's going to be a total of 20 Poke.
Cool. Hand her 20.
And she kind of looks you up and down for a second, and she goes, Would you happen to be a Pokemon Ranger?"
Well, from the region I'm from, yeah. But apparently this region has different qualifications or standards, and apparently I have to sign up for them.
"Oh no, are you talking about the Exploration Society?"
Yeah.
"Oh, they're not a group of rangers. They're just they're kind of another organization that aims to help out people in Pokemon. The Rangers are still a completely separate entity."
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
There are rangers who are in the Exploration Society, but they're not necessarily one and the same.
good.
And she goes, okay, I would actually like to chat with you real quick. Just let me go put your order in and I'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you.
So she kind of leaves and goes to put your order in. And she comes back and she's like, may I sit?
Sure.
And she kind of pulls up a chair and she sits down. She goes, I have a request for you. So I guess you should know more about me first. I used to be a Pokemon coordinator, and I used to participate in contests, and I used to travel around the Hoenn region all the time. And I was in Lily Cove City when the weapon was activated, and I saw the blast kind of destroy everything. But I had managed to get on a boat with some other survivors and sailed away. And I managed to get into the Sinnoh region where it looks like the blast had really settled or hit, and found a little job here. But I do really miss my home and my Pokemon who are left behind over there in Hoenn. But I was wondering, I had heard something about a hidden portal that's in the Eterna Forest that could possibly lead to another region. And I want to check it out, but I don't really have any Pokemon or anything, and I'm hoping it might be able to bring me back to Hoenn, or at least somewhere nearby. Um, I would love your help as a ranger to kind of guide me through that forest and protect me from anything that might happen.
Have you heard of anybody else speak of this portal in this forest?
I had heard rumors from people, but I haven't heard of anyone actually going through it.
Okay. She is an older lady, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see why not. However, I am not very familiar with this region, and everything is completely different than what I have been told and read about this. Like, I don't even know what weapon people are talking about.
Well, Eterna Forest, from what I've heard, is pretty straightforward. I just don't have any Pokemon to defend myself with. So it might just be easier to have somebody with me who can kind of clear the path, so to say. But I mean, I'm sure as a ranger you would be able to, just kind of befriend some wild Pokemon or something of the sort to help you find your way through the forest. Of course, there is a payment in your there is payment for this as well. I would be more than happy to give you a couple items as well as some money in order to be able to help me out.
I'll help you out. Although I do recommend that you find a few berries that Pokemon do like, just in case.
Okay, will do. Those will be pretty easily found in this city.
I noticed. I have never. Is there like a berry farm near here?
Oh, I mean, like we have the Eterna Forest, and they have plenty of berries there. But there are kind of a little further to the east on Route 11. There are a couple berry farms over that way. But with the festival going on right now, it's a lot of things are being imported here to sell because of how many people are here at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's not usually quite this busy. It's usually still pretty bustling, but not usually as busy as it is right now.
All right, I'll help. One more question though. You said the Rangers were separate from that society.
Correct.
Where are the Rangers based?
The Rangers are actually based right here in Eterna City at the old radio tower.
I just have that look on my face of shit. I poke my hat and be like, all right, I was wrong.
But yeah, so let's say you want to meet here tomorrow morning, and we'll go into Eterna Forest.
Sure.
Alrighty, and let's see. As for payment, she kind of thinks a little bit, jots down some numbers. She's like, I am willing to pay you 1,500 Poke, as well as a few other items that I might just kind of take with me.
That's fine. However, I would probably ask that let's try this adventure first, and then you can pay me. Because I would hate for it not to go according to plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, can I get those meals to go by any chance?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And she kind of stands up and goes back to the kitchen. And she comes back with a kind of like 3 to-go trays with 2 of them labeled Pokemon.
Okay. Is there... Well, I guess I can just exit the city. Alright. Thank you.
No problem. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Alrighty. Turn around, start walking out. Please let it not be.
Okay. So it is kind of getting a little later in the day at this point. Are you going to try to find some place to stay?
I'm gonna try and find some empty tree, foresty grounds area since I'm used to just camping and sleeping outside. But my intent is to get everyone fed and to meet this battle-only Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay, so you go to the you kind of go west out of the city a little bit to the kind of outskirts of Eterna Forest and set up camp. And so you have Duper out. Are you releasing the other Pokemon?
I'll get Duper settled. I'll ask for the Pokeball, and I will give Duper his food. And yes, I
Okay.
am going to.
So when you release the Pokeball, you see this small cat-looking Pokemon. It looks to be about a foot and a quarter tall. It's pretty small. And it looks like it's a big white, almost looks like a mushroom. As this paper flits out, and you read that it says Sporeon, a poison type, and it knows the moves. Let's see, it knows the moves Fungi, Mist. It knows Toxic. It knows Bite, and it knows Spore Blast, and it has the ability Spore Cloud.
I just kind of stare at it. Look at Duper. I have never heard nor seen of any like this.
Do you pull out your Pokedex?
I do.
All right. So it loads and it loads and it loads, and it says Sporeon, the poison Pokemon, an evolution of Eevee. Sporeon came as a result of the remaining Eevees adapting to the new conditions, making them able to survive in harmful and toxic surroundings by integrating waste into their bodies, filtering it, and transforming it into spores with various applications.
I look at Duper. Eevee evolution. What? As I'm doing that, I'm kind of going back and forth between Duper and the Pokédex, going, what? Those little guys are just... It's one of the hidden evolution forms, kind of poke Duper. It's one of the mysteries. It's one of the mysteries.
Good job.
Duper.
And Ditto's just like confused at your excitement. He's just like, Ditto?
It's like, Ditto, you should know. There's only so many Eevee evolutions. Last one we had was Sylveon. And I'm looking at this poor cat-like creature just...
And it's just kind of licking its paw and kind of grooming itself. Like it's cleaning itself.
Duper, do you think it'll let me poke it? Is it gonna blast me with spores? Because I'm not spore-proof. What do you think, Duper? Duper, stop stuffing your face.
I'm not just like Ditto back where they don't make it. Ditto?
You're not helping, Duper. So I get a little closer to the cat.
Okay. It kind of looks up at you.
I put down some food, and I opened up the box, and I scooted closer.
It kind of looks at it, walks up kind of carefully, and just kind of starts nibbling at the food while keeping an eye on you.
I slowly put my hand out towards, but I kind of stop. I kind of have, it's like a fist, but I have my index finger just poked out a little bit. You know how you would for a critter to just kind of sniff you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of have that, and so I have my hand out just very carefully, close by, so it can sniff if need be.
4? Yeah. And it just kind of nudges your hand a little bit.
I open up my hand to kind of put under her chin and start petting.
You start petting it, and it's surprisingly leathery. Like, almost like you're petting a mushroom.
I look at Duper with his big grin.
And she's like, Sporeon. Yeah, Spore. And it's just kind of enjoying being stretched.
Kind of make the common battle Pokemon my ass. Those guys rude. They don't know what it's like to be nice to you guys, do they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can just enjoy your food. And I give her a little pat on the head, and I kind of tap on the food and be like, you eat up, okay? All for
Oh
you.
yeah. And she
And,
just kind of goes and starts munching down on the food.
and then I start eating my sandwich, and I give a thumbs up to do for like, yeah.
Alrighty, well, you guys go and you eat your food, and it's time. The evening is kind of coming down, and kind of set up shop and kind of go to sleep.
I leave her out of the Pokeball.
Yeah, she just kind of does a little cat circle and just kind of sleeps at the end of your sleeping bag. But yeah, so it is now the next day.
Alright, so I pack up and I get ready, go back to the cafe.
Okay.
I check on Sporeon.
She's like, Sporion, and she's kind of padding up beside you.
I kind of look at her and look at the Pokeball, and I'm just like, I don't get battles only.
It is. So he did say it's battles. So the Pokemon is rented out from another trainer, and it is for. So you are only to use it for tournament purposes only.
Yeah, he did say that. Alright, Sporeon, I am sorry to do this, but I've got to put you back in the Pokeball.
Sporion.
I know, I don't like it either, but they are the ones that set the rules. I'll try and let you out whenever I can, okay?
Sporion.
Alright. And I hold out the Pokeball so she can enter if she wanted to.
Yeah, she just kind of pokes the button and it opens up and takes her inside.
Was the piece of paper pretty much just information on her?
Yeah,
or...
the piece of paper
Okay.
was just kind of information.
Okay. Didn't know if it was like a note from the trainer or something. Okay.
It did say that her name is Fungi. So you go to the Poke Cafe and you see Lila sitting out there, kind of waiting for you. She kind of perks up when she sees you. Like, all right, are you ready to go?
Yep.
She goes, alrighty, well then let's get going. And she kind of leads you back to Eterna Forest over there.
Alright.
So you go to Eterna Forest, and so Eterna Forest is a very dense forest. You do, as you kind of walk around, you do notice that it does the canopy of the trees shades out most of the ground, but there are some spots where light peeks through that turns more into a meadow than a forest, and as well as some ponds kind of going through. You see tons of bug-type Pokemon and grass-type Pokemon going through the forested region. Where exactly did you want to start looking for this portal?
I would ask her if she has heard of any rumors or of any landmarks or any directions on where.
Yes, I've heard it's pretty deep in the forest, but I've heard it's near a really large rock covered with a bunch of moss on it. Can you roll a straight d20 for me?
I can. 1d20. 13.
Okay, let's see. So this is an event table thing. So every day I'm going to ask one of the players to roll every in-game day. I'm going to ask one of the players to roll on the event table, and it will give me a list of different things that can happen during the day. And I want you to roll another d20 for me. So this is going to be a rarity check. So this will determine what kind of Pokemon you find.
Okay. Another 13.
Okay.
Really, dice? Really?
So you find, you see kind of perched up in one of the trees, it kind of, a bird kind of calls out, Micro! And you see this black bird that looks like it has a black hat made of feathers kind of sitting on the tree up there. And, which is kind of weird because you know of Murkrow, and you know that usually it's a nocturnal Pokemon.
Kind of look at the Murkrow. Just crowing. You're like, wait, I thought you were a nighttime Pokemon. Literally just nonchalantly asking the Murkrow. I thought you were a nighttime Pokemon. What are you doing up?
Growl.
Duper, he doesn't sound too happy. Maybe he's past bedtime.
Growl, growl, growl.
I kind of look at her and it's like, is he mad or is he telling me that nighttime's not a good time to sleep, so he has to stay awake in the morning and now he's just cranky?
He looks to be a little mad.
Got any of those berries?
I do have some berries, and she kind of rustles through, and she pulls out some orange berries. She's gonna have to roll a poker handling check. She pulls out the orange berries, and the Murkrow shoots out its wings and flies down and takes the berries right out of her hands and flies away. She's like, "Oh well, I had some berries."
Well, that is actually why I asked you to bring berries. Because sometimes sacrifices work. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. All right. So she continues going down. So where are you going to search first? Are you going to search? And so there's 3 regions. So this most areas that you can find Pokemon, I'll have divided up into different regions where different Pokemon will occur. So in Eterna Forest, there's a forested region, which a lot of bug type and grass type Pokemon will occur. I have a meadow region where there's a lot of normal type, kind of rodent-esque kind of Pokemon. And then I have a pond area in Eterna Forest where there's going to be a lot more water types.
Alright, you said the meadow was the rats and...
Yeah, the kind of rodent-esque Pokemon. So a lot of normal types.
Alright. If I was a giant portal of teleporting properties, would I have... I kind of poke Ditto, Duper. It's like, Duper, if I was a giant portal with teleporting properties, where would I hide?
He goes kind of get up and kind of points to Lila and just kind of reminds you that she did say it was going to be near a rock covered with moss.
To the meadow it is.
Alrighty, so you go to the meadow, and I need you to roll another rarity check for me, which is just a straight d20 to determine what Pokemon it is you find.
12.
12. So as you're kind of going through the meadow here, you see kind of come out from the grass, you see this little tiny bug, a red bug that looks like it's wearing a suit. And it has 2 little curly black antennas on top of it.
Oh no. Oh no. I think I have an idea on what you're talking about. It's that singing Pokemon. That violin one.
Are you going to pull out your Pokedex, try to figure out what it is?
I am.
So
I'll pull out my dex.
So it loads, it's loading. It says, Cricketot, the cricket Pokemon. It chats with others using the sounds of its colliding antenna. These sounds are fall hallmarks, and it does say it is a bug sound type.
Sound. Bug sound. Sound. That's
Cricketot!
sound type.
Cricketot!
Like, no. No. Kind of slowly back away. Be like, I'm not here to bug you. No pun intended.
Don't forget you do have your capture styler, your tamer of the wild.
Okay. Yes, I will try to do that.
Okay. So you take out your capture styler on your wrist and you kind of launch it towards this Cricketot. And so I just need you to roll a focus check.
+3. With the 3, it'll be a 10.
Okay. So you go to launch your styler at it and you start kind of making the loops around it, and it just goes Cricketot, and it just kind of the sound of this burst of sound kind of comes out and it breaks the loop on your styler, and your styler energy level goes down by 1 to 9.
Okay, so it just depleted the energy a little bit?
Right, by 1.
Okay, so I kind of just look at this cricket. I try again.
Okay, go ahead and roll a focus check.
12, 13, 15.
Okay, so that one's going to succeed, and you go, you do the loops around the Cricketot, and the Cricketot, so the loops kind of enclose on the Cricketot, and you see the Cricketot kind of glow with this little, like, just sparkles, and it's like, Cricketot? And it just kind of waddles up to you, and just kind of looks up, he's like, Cricketot!
Okay there, sorry to intrude on your home. I do kind of get down closer to its level, because I know Cricketot's a very tiny one. Or
It is.
yeah, so I kind of get down on my knees and sit and be like, sorry to kind of invade your home and bug you. However, would you happen to know of, like, this portal in the middle of this forest area? I'm told it's close to a giant rock with moss covered on it. Would you
Goes,
happen to...
oh, Cricketot! And it kind of turns around and starts waddling in a direction closer towards the forest.
All right, I get up, be like, lead the way. Kind of point, be like, I think he knows.
Alrighty, so now I need you to go ahead and roll another rarity check for me.
14.
Okay.
Good, it's not that Murkrow again.
14. No, it's not.
Oh dear.
But so you're kind of going through the forest when you start. So you're going through the forest, right? So it's dark. So it gets dark, and you start to see this kind of glowing energy coming from deep within the forest. And as Krikatot is leading you towards this energy, you see this large mossy rock, and behind it there's what almost looks to be a rip in the air that's just kind of glowing. And as you get closer, you start to hear Hazu.
I kind of stop and listen for that sound again. See if I can maybe pinpoint on where.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
17.
Okay, so you hear kind of rumbling and footsteps coming from the other side of the rock as this big blue kind of bulbous Pokemon with rabbit ears kind of comes out, and it has this kind of zigzaggy tail with a blue orb. Goes Azumarill, and it looks like it's warning you not to get any closer.
My face is not amused. I look at the Cricketot, be like, I guess this is definitely the right spot. And I look at her, at Lila, and it's like, well, that one is saying don't get any closer.
Oh well, this is what we're looking for, though, right? Do you think?
Well, when Pokemon are guarding something, it's usually something important or dangerous, or both. So, I'm looking that Pokemon up and down, like, terrified as can be. It's like, yeah, that's definitely going to be outside my level of expertise here. Duper, do you think it's in a talking mood?
Yeah. And he just kind of shrugs.
Duper, you're not.
And he kind of motions to the purple Pokeball that's kind of sitting inside of him. Ditto.
They did say it was for tournaments only. You know what? Let's.
You see Lila is visibly sad, and it looks like she's kind of debating what to do.
I'll kind of just call out, be like, "Are you willing to hear us out, or no?"
Roll a Poke handling check.
Okay. Ooh, I am proficient in that one. Ha ha ha! Oh boy, 18 plus 6.
Nice. Yeah, so it's kind of like Azu, and it's just kind of sitting there listening. It's not getting any closer to you, but it looks like it's willing to listen to you.
I'll kind of hold my hand out to Lila, tell her to come up next to me, be like, tell him your story on what you told me.
Okay, she kind of is like, oh, okay.
It's
And
okay,
she's
don't
kind
worry.
of visibly, she's kind of visibly a little scared, and she kind of starts going into her story. and the Azumarill is listening, and you kind of get the sense that it understands where Lila is coming from, but it doesn't look like it's willing to give what seems to be its territory. Marill.
Well, I heard your story, but it seems like it's just... So he's just being territorial.
Right.
He's just being really territorial about it.
He's like, this is my cool thing I found.
I'm not one for liking beating up Pokemon. I hold up my hand to Duper, motioning for the Pokeball.
And he just kind of spits it out into your hand. Damn!
And I kind of show him, show a Pokeball and be like, "Are you sure you're not going to be willing to let us pass this one time?"
And he just kind of puts his arms out and Azumarill.
I will never understand you guys and your like for fightings. And I click on the Pokeball and I let Fungi out.
All right, so you let Fungi out, and he goes, Sporion.
Sorry to ask this of you, Sporion, but we're looking to get to something, but he's being a little territorial and it looks like he wants to fight. Do you mind helping us?
Sporion. And it looks like he's ready to fight.
Alright. And I'll look at the Azumarill again and be like, alright, you asked for this. Kind of have my hands up like, this is what you want. This is what you're gonna get. Alright.
Alright, so what is Fungi going to do?
Toxic.
Toxic?
Yep. Well, I rolled it. 17.
Alright, so dang. Yeah, so Sporion, you see, releases just this mist of spores that settles into the ground around Azumarill's feet. And you just see the kind of ground turn purple as Azumarill gets this kind of like poisoned little rash across its face. And it looks like it's starting to hurt and take damage as Azumarill is poisoned now.
I just kind of make the comment, oh, poor guy, I feel so bad. Oh, boy. Alright.
And so now it is Azumarill's. Azumarill is going to run up to Fungi as its hand comes encased in ice, as it is going to try and punch Fungi with an ice punch. So it goes to punch into this ice punch, and it misses, and it punches straight into the ground as the ground kind of freezes over, and it gets its hand stuck in the frozen ground.
I kind of just look at him and be like, are you still sure you want to keep going?
Azu.
Okay. Alright, I take a few steps back. Spore Blast.
Alright, Spore Blast. So, go ahead and roll the hit. It is a special attack move, and Azumarill's special evasion is +3. So, on a 5 or on a 6 or less, it misses.
You said a 6 or lower it misses?
Yes.
Holy crap, I rolled a 7. I will stream, I will show you. It is a 7.
You are good. And it's, so you see Sporion just kind of standing there over the Azumarill as it shakes its head, and this cloud of spores kind of comes up and starts to glow purple as these spores kind of go straight into Azumarill. And so you're going to roll the damage.
2d8 plus 10 iron. I rolled a 14.
Nice. Plus, did you add the 10?
Nope.
So 24.
So that's 21 plus the 24.
24. Yeah, so that's, 45? And then it is super effective as well. So you multiply it by 2. Yeah, so that's 90 coming in. So that's 75 damage going to Azumarill. And so that Azumarill is looking kind of rough.
I ask again. Do you really want to keep going?
As it pulls its its fist out of the ground, and it is going to it's gonna put its tail on the ground and spring itself up into the air, and you can no longer see it at the moment.
Oh shit.
And it takes poison damage too. Okay, I rolled a 1, so it only takes 2 damage of those poison right now.
Yeah, I give her the heads up. You might want to move away a little bit.
She kind of is like, oh, all right, and she kind of just backs up like behind the mossy rock, just kind of poking.
And I look at the little cricket. I kind of pick him up and I kind of scoot him away. Be like, you might want to run too, little one.
Cricketa! And he starts kind of waddling away, like he's like terrified.
He's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. You're like, yep, go over there, little guy. Go over there.
So what is Fungi doing?
Um,
Are you just gonna like tell Fungi to kind of prepare?
yeah, be like, get ready.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that'll you can take the dodge action like you would in D&D. So I'll give disadvantage on the accuracy roll.
Okay.
So as you kind of tell Fungi to prepare, she's looking around, making sure, seeing if anything is coming down, and all of a sudden this Azumarill comes flying out of the trees towards Fungi. Let's see, +3. Are you still using your physical defense?
Yes.
Okay. So 3 + 4 is 7, +1. So I have to roll higher than an 8. All right, so it does hit. So I rolled really bad for damage. So you have 39 flying type damage coming your way because it is using bounce. The Zoomer reappears and slams down onto Fungi, and it's coming in for, what did I say it was, 39 damage coming in?
Oh, her actual defense. So that's
Yeah.
22.
Yeah. So
17.
So you only take 17 damage. All right. So what does Fungi do? It's Fungi's turn. Oh, hold on. The Azumarill takes damage. Okay, so the Azumarill takes the poison damage from the toxic and just kind of like falls over, passes out.
Oh
And it does kind of get back up and shake the poison off, and then just kind of waddles off into the forest like
no. He's pouting.
Yeah.
I look back at Lila and be like, do you have any more of those berries?
So you look back to Lila, and where Lila was is a little note in a bag.
I look at the dot. Cricket dot?
The cricket tot is gone. It fled.
Okay. He was like, nah, I'm out of here. Peace. Fair enough. Alright, so I go and look at the note in bag.
Okay. Well, it says, Dearest Amelia, thank you so much for bringing me this far. I felt that if I were to continue to stay here, you would try to convince me not to go into the rift. But now that I'm here, I know that I must go through. I left your payment as well as a couple of other things in my bag here, and I very much appreciate all you have done for me. Sincerely, Lila.
I read that note. I look up. I swear to God, if she's a member of Team Rocket, I'm going to be so mad at myself.
And so as you finish reading, you see the rift kind of start to almost zip up like it's a zipper as it slowly and slowly just kind of starts disappearing until it's gone.
Well, I hope she's okay and alive and not a member of Team Rocket or one of those other crazy dudes. Oh boy. I will see what loot she left me.
All right. You look in the bag and you see 1,500 Poke. You see 5 Pokeballs. You see 3 Great Balls. Let's see, there's also 5 potions. She left you a lot. And you see at the very bottom, you see a little egg.
I look at Dooper and I'm like, Dooper, it's an egg. You remember these, buddy, right? All those haunted where you had to help hatch eggs back at the house. kind of look at Duper and be like, you don't remember how to turn into a flame talon, do you, buddy?
I did so.
Fair enough. It has been a long time since we've seen one, and that was just in passing. You're like, yeah, that was in passing. I barely even remember what that bird looked like. I just remember it was cool. Bloody hot. I go over there and check on Fun Guy. Kind of hold out my hand like, heck yeah, that was awesome. Like
She kind of rubs up against your hand with her head, and she's like, "Yeah, that was great. That
I
was
give her a
fun."
good old scratch and be like, oh, that was awesome, yes.
Oh, boy.
You're like, oh, it's such a kind of take in the moment, be like,
You see her leg kind of start bouncing.
like, oh, it's such a shame that you already haven't. I wonder. I kind of go in closer, be like, you just want to come with me?
She's like, Sporion.
Fair enough. I understand. But if ever anything happens, come find me. Duper and I will beat him up and bring you along.
Oh.
Okay? Offers always available.
Sporion.
Even if he looks at you funny, okay? We'll do something. Come with us.
Sporion.
Okay.
Alright. So what do you want to do now?
I'll ask Sporion if she's good or if she would like a potion.
Sporion. She's like, I'm fine. She's like, I'm tough.
Alright. I kind of put up my hands and be like, alright, I understand. I don't mean to disrespect your might there. And I'll be like, you know what? Tell you what. You can walk with us. I won't put you back in the Pokeball. You can enjoy the forest.
Florian.
There you go.
So are you just walking back, or do you want to maybe look for some Pokemon while you're in Eterna Forest?
Yeah, I'll go investigating. I technically have 4 days?
5 days.
5
from
days.
now. So do you want to go to the more forested region? Do you want to go to the meadows, or do you want to check out the ponds?
Let us to the forest. Okay, so I will
Right.
look in the forest.
Okay, so roll a rarity check for me.
Oh no! It's a 13. Is that the Murkrow?
No.
Okay.
So you're kind of walking through the forest, and you step on something, and there's just like a crunch as you kind of step off, and you see kind of shake out of the dirt this little blue bulb with these little leaves coming out of it. It's like oddish.
I immediately just go, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Oh my gosh.
Roll a poke handling check.
I'm just panicking like, whoa. Alright, so 6 plus 6, 12.
She's like, oddish. Like, it's okay.
I kind of brush her off a little bit, help her little leaves just kind of poke back up. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Oh gosh.
Oddish.
Just kind of wander off, or is she just hanging out?
She's just kind of hanging, just chilling.
Just chilling?
Yep. So, what do you want to do?
I'll kind of be like, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of carefully step around her, make sure I'm not going to step on any other poor little one.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Perception. 13 plus 6, 19.
Yeah. So yeah, you kind of step around, make sure you're not stepping on any more, and you don't step on any more. You're good to go.
I kind of look back at the Oddish, make sure she's not giving me the look of, where are you going?
Nah, she just kind of burrows back into the ground and is just like, I'm going back to sleep.
Okay. Then I shall continue on.
Okay. You still looking for more Pokemon, or are you gonna just kind of go out of the forest?
Yeah, I'm still wondering.
Okay.
So let's not forget how to get out of here.
Still in the forest, or you want to move on to a meadow or a pond?
Forest.
Okay, go ahead and roll another rarity check.
11.
Alrighty, so you're walking through, and all of a sudden you see this kind of flash of purple kind of come up and around you, and all of a sudden you feel a little lighter.
Is anything picking me up?
Roll a perception check.
15.
So you kind of notice some snickering, like like snickering in the trees as you look up, and you see this purple monkey that has like a hand on the end of its tail.
Did it steal anything?
Oh yeah, and its tail. You see the sack that Lila gave you.
Shit. I hate those Pokemon. Alrighty. I look at Duper. Like, Duper.
It's like, get out.
I ask for the bag back.
Roll a poke handling.
11.
Yeah, the monkey kind of goes, hey Pom, hey Pom, hey Pom, hey Pom. It's kind of showing it off.
I look at, fungi.
And she's like, Sporia.
Just like, bite it.
Okay. Roll the hit.
18.
18 will hit.
So that's 7 plus 8.
Sporia kind of opens up its mouth and it goes and it chomps down on the Apom's tail as Apom kind of drops the bag. And it's like, Apom! As it is actually going to use Mud Bomb on Fungi.
Mud.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't hit! So you see Apom just scoop up this like handful of mud with its tail and fling it at Fungi as Fungi just kind of dodges right out of the way of the mud bomb.
I'm sure Apom's like, shit. I kind of just look at the Apom, cross my arms, kind of look at it. Stealing is bad.
Apom!
No, don't you talk back to me. Stealing is bad. And
Apom!
I reach into the bag and I pull out a potion. Be like, come here.
Roll a poke handling.
15.
Okay. It kind of comes up to you and it's just like, Apom?
And I use a potion on it.
Pom!
2d6 plus 6, 5, 11.
11. Okay, so it heals for 11. It goes, Apom!
I'm like, yeah, alright, don't steal anymore.
Apom!
At least from me, alright? Go on now.
Apom. And it kind of scurries off into the forest.
Alright.
All right, and at this point, it is starting to get kind of late evening, like late afternoon.
Okay. I will look at Fungi and Duper and be like, you guys want to come back another time? Maybe look for someone to join us?
Go, Sporia.
Alright. Let's go find somewhere and camp.
Alrighty, so you go and you make camp for the night as the scene kind of fades out, and we come back into focus on Lila back in Lily Cove City, just surrounded by overgrown, ruined buildings, and her wandering around searching for something. As we fade back out, and we're going to end the session for today.